Welcome back. And now it's time for our press review. We're going to take a look at the main headlines of our Egyptian dailies. But first, just allow me to welcome our dear guest, Dr. Youmn Professor of Economics at Shams University. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you.
Right, let me start by taking a look at Al-Masri اليوم. King Abdullah of Jordan officially invited on Wednesday President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to attend the upcoming Arab League summit in Jordan in March. The invitation was relayed by Jordan's Foreign Minister Nasser Jeddah, who arrived in Cairo on Wednesday to meet with President el-Sisi to discuss bilateral ties and regional developments. Doctor, how do you read this and how far it is important when it comes to the Arab League summit?
Yes, it's quite important for this critical period that the Arab world is witnessing nowadays. I believe that, imagine, Nashwa, that the Arab world, 5% of population, having 25% of arming, and 60% of conflicts using this arm, which means that the weapons that are used, 60% of it is used in conflict within the area, which means that the area is in a severe challenge regarding how to restore peace and to regain for the for the interest of population of the Arab world. From here it's coming the importance of this actually meeting, and I believe that it is of the responsibility of politician and intellectual, all Arab politician and intellectual of the Arab world, that should exert efforts in order to regain our strengths as Arab countries and to achieve unified, visionary approach towards how to address these challenges. From here it comes that if we cannot, refer to decision makers of, leaders of the Arab countries because they have their own conflict point of interest, I believe that civil society should play a very important role, and Arab League at the same time should, restructure their mechanism in order to address these, challenges. From here it comes that we have to refer to civil society regarding economic, social cooperation in order to make some kind of consensus towards what we are suffering nowadays.
Right, moving on to Al-Ahram newspaper. Prime Minister Sameh Shoukry on Wednesday held an expanded meeting with representatives of local newspapers and international news agencies. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ahmed Abu Zaid said that the meeting included a large number of correspondents of newspapers and news agencies, including the New York Times, Washington Post, Los Angeles Times, the BBC, Reuters, Associated Press, the German news agency, Agence France Presse, the Spanish news agency, the Russian news agency, and others. And I think this is something we have been talking about a long time ago, the importance of having an official source of information when it comes to the international press.
But despite that, I respect very much what, the Minister Sameh Shoukry he is exerting very important efforts. Despite that, we cannot address this problem just by holding meetings with this influential media circles, because even he is going to have this meeting, how, persistently he can do it in order to address all these challenges. I believe this should be done institutionally. We have to refer to all our points regarding our embassies abroad, all Egyptians living abroad, to have some kind of institutional networks to express the real situation in Egypt, because you are having, all what's happening in Egypt is interpreted in different ways abroad. And this is completely dangerous for, tourism, for all, just for investment too. We would like to attract investment. Some of people mentioning abroad that, Egypt is not safe and when they come here, they see quite well that Egypt is quite safe, and we are, living quite naturally. So from here it comes that this is quite important, but it should be done differently.
To create a network, to maintain the relation.
Of course, and institutionally. Why? Because we need to monitor what's happening, and to see that there should be a change.
Right, from Al-Ahram online, Foreign Ministry spokesman Ahmed Abu Zaid said on Wednesday that Egypt is committed to establishing peace in Libya, whether through trilateral talks with Tunisia and Algeria or in direct dialogue with Libya, its neighboring countries, the United Nations, the African Union, or the Arab League. Abu Zaid's comments came in response to statements by the Tunisian president to Tunisian leaders magazines this week, saying that Algeria proposed an initiative to solve the Libyan crisis, and that Egypt, Tunisia, and Algeria will meet in a trilateral summit to discuss the country's situation. Well, definitely the current situation in Libya is very much
and this is quite important because all, the countries that they have vested interest in having Libya stabilized, they should gather in order to find solution for this problem. And Libya, the situation is better than before because, extremism has been to some extent approached properly. And I believe Egypt is exerting very good effort in that. But when we have, Algeria and Tunisia, it's quite important to have this trilateral, harmonization of effort besides all countries in borders with Libya that they are interested to have Libya secure and to have stabilization in Libya. I believe this could actually be a part of discussion from here till the Arab League meeting in March.
Well, actually, the important part is that when it comes not only to Libya, but the national security now of any country in the region will be affected with anything that takes place in any other country, actually.
You have hot areas like, Yemen, Libya, and Syria.
Most of the region.
Yes, and most of the region is in conflict.
Right, from اليوم we read, Al-Azhar Grand Imam Ahmed Al-Tayyib paid a visit on Wednesday to the Coptic Cathedral in Cairo to offer tidings to Pope Tawadros II on the occasion of the Coptic Orthodox Christmas on the 7th of January. Al-Tayyib was accompanied by a high clergyman and youth from Al-Azhar institution. The Grand Imam told Pope Tawadros that the enduring reality of tolerance among Egyptians is far too strong to be spoiled by any criminal act. And Pope Tawadros II said that the relationship between Muslims and Christians in Egypt, which dates back thousands of years, serves as a role model of coexistence.
This is quite important, taking into consideration that we can witness for the large, they are trying to create a conflict all the time between Muslim and Copt in Egypt. This is a tool that they would like to use it all the time in order to make, some kind of disturbance in Egypt. They know quite well that we are about to have a tremendous change in our economic, political life, and, they would like all the time to make this type of conflict. So it's of our own responsibility as Egyptians to work quite well in order to improve. And from here it comes, the renovation of religion discourse that President El-Sisi asked about it. It needs a lot of work to be done, actually in schools.
In schools, just to understand what is it about. Maybe the point is that they are talking a lot about changing the discourse of religion, but how to do it, I think this is the most important.
Yes, mechanisms of doing it, and channels.
And nowadays you can see Muslims are dying as well as a result of terrorist attacks.
Yes.
Moving on to Al-Masri Youmn, the cabinet held its weekly session on Wednesday to discuss a number of political, economic, and social files, in addition to reports on the quality of services offered to citizens and availability of basic commodities at affordable prices till the end. Especially also the medicine, for example, essential needs and medicines. And we know that we have many challenges in this respect.
Nashwa, from my point of view, the core issue for this cabinet to do is what has been mentioned as improving services for people. You know, people are suffering a lot nowadays from increasing of prices. This is a very big challenge. So conflicts that appeared in, like you mentioned, in medicine. This is a big problem in medicine. In basic needs, you can witness a sharp increase in price level. From here it comes that how to address this situation by improving the quality of service. How to improve the quality of service, public service offered by the government, is by improving efficiency of these institutions. And here you have to apply the civil servants' new law, because you know there is no accountability in our public institutions. There is no job description about who is doing what and how to be accountable for what they are doing. You know, from here it comes that you cannot achieve these goals and improve the quality of service without improving efficiency. We need to upgrade the skills of people. We need to hold people accountable for some responsibilities. And we have to, you know, monitor what is done. And here is how to improve the quality of service.
Right. The Egyptian exchange indices closed on positive note on Wednesday amid collective gains of its main indices on buying activity by foreign investors. And the benchmark index EGX 30 added 1.47% to close at 12,608.44 points, that considered the index all-time high. The small and medium caps index EGX 70 rose 0.27% to 465.99 points, while the broader index EGX 100 gained 0.5% to reach 1.111.4 points. Is this an
You know, the
indicator
only gainer of the floating of exchange rate is the stock market. And from here it comes when you ask the question to how extent the stock market is beneficial for the economy. This is a big question mark, actually, because everywhere stock market is a very important, you know, way to finance investments. So when we ask, is it our stock market is assuming this responsibility or not, the answer is no, unfortunately. And from here it comes that, you know, it needs to be reformed, our stock market, despite that it is a very important tool in order to, you know, this is hot money, attract investment. As you see here that foreigners are buying because it's quite profitable with devaluation, you know. Yes. And from here it comes that everywhere stock markets of developing countries, in order to gain, you know, more benefits from the role of the stock market, they are giving incentives for hot money to stay for some period, not just by collects, buying and selling and gaining profit and then going abroad. This is a foreign indirect investment that needs some kind of, you know, monitoring in order to be beneficial for the economy.
Right, so with some economic news, moving on to Al-Ahram newspaper, Minister of International Cooperation Sahar Nasr said that the government approved an agreement between the Egyptian government and the OPEC Fund for International Development on the provision of $40 million in favor of the Social Fund for Development. And the minister clarified the agreement came on the framework of the ministry keenness to support the president's initiative on youth projects and to contribute to financing credit lines of small and micro enterprises in the most disadvantaged areas nationwide.
I have been responsible during my membership in Shura Council about this kind of agreements. You know, we received a lot of foreign aid and soft funds, loans, yes, and funds for SMEs. And, you know, till now, when you try to figure out to how extent they benefited all these foreign loans benefited the beneficiaries that, you know, should benefit from it, the answer is it needs a lot of efforts to be done, actually. So hopefully that the Minister of International Cooperation having the system in order to be sure. For example, the social fund is getting these loans with 2% interest rate and lend them with more than 11% interest rate. So what about the difference? You need to make a type of reforming the system of SMEs in Egypt. And from here it comes that for several periods we are asking for an independent organization taking responsibility of supporting SMEs in Egypt.
Right. At the end, Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shams University, always a pleasure having you with us on the show. Still, we have more to bring you, but let's move on to a quick break and we'll be back to resume our breakfast show.